Hi Cancer. So we're doing a little Valentine's reading for you guys. So first off, we're going to have a look at the Cancerians that are in relationships. Oh, and your first card out, happy days, is your Chariot. So there's definitely some movement. You're heading in the right direction, I think, Cancer. You maybe taking your relationship to the next level. Just going to grab a couple more cards out because the next one out isn't so great. So the next card we've got is the Tower and the Judgment. So maybe, I think for some of you you're getting out of a relationship before Valentine's, around Valentine's, in the next week or so. For some of you, you're making that final judgment call on something that's probably not been working. And you know what? It's tough to do that, but I think if you've made the decision that it isn't working, I think it is best to move on, because while you're staying there, you're preventing yourself from finding someone that makes you happy, and you're also preventing the person you're with from finding who makes them happy. And I think this is really, true for a lot of people. Get one more card, please. It's true for a lot of people, and I think sometimes letting go is incredibly hard. It's incredibly hard, but it needs to be done, because actually, if you pair these two up, it's nice because it's you're moving away from something that isn't working for you. You're letting it go and you're moving on. Pair these up. For some of you in relationships, you're making that judgment call. You've got all of that divine judgment, that kind of that sensation of knowing that things have got to change and the decision's made, and actually the decision is out of your hands, and that's enabling you to move forward. Now, the next pairing is really lovely. So for some of you, it's a little bit sad, because you're having to give up on something which is not for you anymore, and you're having to make that decision. I don't think anyone's making a decision for you. I think because it's in your reading and it's come up with you at the top, moving away. I think it's you that's choosing to make this decision, and maybe the person you're dealing with is going to have a tough time dealing with it. I mean, breakups are always going to be hard, but I think for some of you I think these two they're just such poignant cards, and it's life-changing. It's Major Arcana, so it is life-changing moments. But you've got to go through this Tower moment and this Judgment moment to be able to get through to what's coming up next. So there is going to be disappointment, but you've also got the Lover's card. So, again, yes, there's sadness there. Yes, 3 cups have fallen over, but there's still 2 cups standing. This love is still there. And it's a divine love. It's not, it's not the kind of reverse side of love where it's kind of almost a bit unhealthy, a bit codependency. You've got to get through this disappointment. If we take this as a story, it's time to move on, Cancer. It's time to get in your chariot. It's time to start moving, because the decision has been made. Whether it's you, whether it's someone else, whether it's divine, whether it's something's come in the middle of it, the decision has been made. It's time to let things fall apart. And once you let things fall apart, you will feel disappointed. There's no doubt about that. But you will also find a much better love. And the bottom of the deck card you've got is the Death in the reverse. So you see how free that person is, how she's dancing around. She's having a lovely time because she's made it through that death transition. She's made it through that Tower moment. She's gone through the disappointment. She's found the love. And she's got the freedom, which is really lovely. So I'm sorry that wasn't more upbeat in the run-up to Valentine's. But sometimes you've got to hear the hard messages. And sometimes I find, particularly when people do readings for me, I find it's the hard messages that I think, I really don't want to hear that full well you need to hear it, because it's not what you want to hear. So we're going to have a look at the singles now. So single Cancerians, what's coming up in the run-up to Valentine's, please? Oh, okay. Love when they try and come out and then go back in. Okay, so your overall card is Page of Pentacles. So I feel for some of you singles out there, you are getting really focused on what it is that you want. Could be that you're focusing on someone else. Could be focusing on just getting your own stuff together financially, getting your work-life balance sorted. Because there's a glow around the Pentacles, so it's it's a good vision. Your next card's out. We've got the Two of Swords, so there's definitely some decisions that need to be made. And I think where this focus is coming in, I think it's easy to focus on yourself and avoid making these decisions. But if you don't make the decisions, you can't move on. And the next card out is the Sun, which is wonderful. So if you make that decision, you get through to this sunshine energy, which is everything you want. It's, you know, the sun gives everything life. And I think you've got to get out of this focus on yourself and start making the decisions in order to get through to that sunshine. You've also got the Empress, happy days. So harvesting, you know, planting the seeds, getting everything ready, building, you know, you've leveled up from the queens and the kings and that sort of area, and you've got through to that kind of maternal instinct and that feeling of not necessarily rebirth yet, but because I think it's still on the way, because I think you've got to make the decision first. But in order to get that, you've also got to let go. So for the singles out there, you've got to realise that this, you know, the Chariot is stuck at the moment. Though, you know, that Chariot is broken down at the bottom of the tower. You know, this is a Cancer reading, so that should hopefully resonate for you as well. But I think, you know, if you plant the seeds and get rid of this dead wood, whatever it is that you've been dealing with, you know, because in the middle, you've got the Empress and the Sun. So they're great, great cards. You know, the Sun helps the harvest grow. The Empress is all about harvest and about things coming in, you know, fruition, crops coming in, crops growing. You know, the shield's down, the defences are down. But if you don't make that decision, then you don't get to have the defences down. You don't get to that level of Empress energy. Okay? But it's good. And your bottom of the deck card is the Nine of Cups. So that, you know, is about, it's really, really close to the 10. And that for me, you know, the lady that's flying up there is the vision of what it is that you want. Which comes back to the Page of Pentacles. The vision of what you want, the focus. Gives you the Nine of Cups. But you've got to go through all this other stuff first. Okay, any final advice for Cancer, please, in the run-up to Valentine's? Any final advice for Cancer, please? That's a lot, so I'm going to take those top two. So you've got the Seven of Wands with the Hermit. So the Seven of Wands for me is about getting really clear. You know, it's a very victorious card, but he's also very clear about what he wants. You know, he's picked up that one wand out of those seven for a reason. You know, you've got to focus on what it is that you want. And with the Hermit, I think, you know, the light is there, the way is lit. You know where it is that you need to go. But I think you just got to stay really clear on what it is, really clear on the focus, really clear on the goals of what it is you're trying to achieve, Cancer. Because are you, you know, do you want to spend the next decade on your own? Totally fine if you do. Do you want to spend it with someone? Again, great if you do. Or you want to be, you want to stay in that hermit mode of just regrouping, you know, take some time out. Just be very, very clear about it and be clear with other people. Set those boundaries, be clear about what it is that you want. Anyway, I hope you have a lovely, lovely Valentine's, and I'll see you soon.